Welcome to another edition of Your Impact Attack. That's right, it's Your Impact Attack. Looking at you, C, in the VBC as we reunite for another Monday night extravaganza. The VBC is the vet, Jamie Williams. Hello. To me, as always, my tag team partner is the B, Brandon. What's going on, Brandon?
Not a whole lot there. I think I got a little bit excited with my playing with my finger there, but that's something else. But hope all is well. We got fun. We got done with a very fun Raw for all the wrong reasons, and we'll catch more of that later. But it's Impact time. So how you doing, pal?
Man, I just can't wait to get this over with. Of course, I'd love to spend time with Brandon and the C. Who do we have a 4-horse people with us, by the way, as we get into this?
Looks like you might have us a
triple threat.
A triple threat. We got Lab Rat. We got Liz. We got Dan. Good to see you guys.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. Oh wait, Final Boss just came in.
There's the fourth. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, this would be like a Paul Roma. I think Final Boss would be like a Paul Roma, right?
Nah, let's Mongo.
Is that worse? I was trying to get a Pillman. I could see a Pillman. Final Boss is a little bit of a loose cannon, but that's okay. All right, so here we go. We're all here. We're all here now, and some other people will be joining us shortly to talk about this episode of Impact. And yeah, I won't lie to you. Not that I ever do, but especially about this. It sucked. I'm just telling you that now. Lower your expectations. If you're watching Impact, or if you are even with the Raw watch along as the watch along goes off the air, and Final Boss says WWE has the worst creative. Oh well. We beg to differ. And we'll get into that shortly. But let's start off with some news, some stuff. I'm sure lots of things have happened. Brandon, do you see anything that happened that you'd like to talk about?
I mean, nothing really big happened. I don't think anything big happened in wrestling. I mean, I don't think we had any notable deaths or anything.
No, not any notable deaths that would just half-heartedly be mentioned in the middle of tag team matches on television on both shows for AEW and WWE. Nobody really.
Yeah, rest in peace, Dennis Condrey, the core. If there was no Dennis Condrey, there would have been no Midnight Express.
Oh, absolutely not. No. Yeah, the great Dennis Condrey had a hell of a run in the business and in life. So sorry to see him go, but we all have our day. So make sure that you're doing your best with all the days that you have left. I don't know. I was trying to be inspirational there. Yeah, that happened. Some other stuff happened. I'm sure people have talked about all the same stuff. Let's talk about something fun. Actually, that's sad. I don't want to talk about that. Let's start off with TNA news, sort of. I mean, we've been kind of following the ratings a little bit since they gone to AMC, and people have apparently said, that it's important now. And so the ratings have been trending upwards in these past weeks until this week, in which the March 19th episode is an average of 250,000 viewers, which is down 3%. They've had an average of 244,000 for the trailing 4 weeks, so they're still up. But this was the first time, I think, since they've come to AMC that they've seen a drop, even if it is only 3%. I can't tell you the This article here says this is what the article actually says. Down 3% from the previous week's 590,000 viewers. So they clearly made a typo there. I don't know what they thought they were talking about. Maybe Dynamite or NXT, but yeah, I think it would be if last week was 590,000. I think 250,000 would be a little more than 3%. So
Yeah, it's closer to like at least 40.
yeah, yeah. So there's a little typo there. It's not even. It wasn't even 290,000. Like it couldn't have even been that much because they haven't gotten that high yet. So it's funny.
Yeah, but
But
even though a dip is never a good thing, it doesn't mean you're fucking up. Like dips happen. Dips happen. What I'd be looking at is the minute by minutes and seeing what people are tuning in for, what people are tuning out for, give them more of what they're tuning in for, and give them less of what they're tuning out for. But is anybody actually doing that?
no, nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing the minutes, and nobody's watching this show. They're not doing it like that. Nobody's watching TNA and being like, "Oh, this sucks. I'll come back after a commercial break and see if it's better." Please.
This ain't Monday Night Wrestling in the 90s.
No, it's sure not, and for many reasons it's not. And I'd also like to say that I personally believe that if the ratings have any value whatsoever, it's a commentary on the previous week's episode. So if people didn't watch the episode we're about to talk about, if 3% less people watched the episode that we're about to talk about, it's because they hated last week's show, not the week, the previous week's show, not the one from the 19th. They hated the one from the 12th. And they were like, I'm not watching this shit anymore. And I believe that that's what we're going to start seeing. I would be so surprised if we get the ratings for next week. The only way that they go up is because Sacrifice has made some kind of a buzz, because it's not going to be this show increasing anybody's viewership.
Well, yeah, I think the next show is the Go Home show for Sacrifice.
Right. So I predict a drop off for that show's ratings. Nonetheless, we're just keeping up with that just to give something to chit chat about. It's not that important. We don't take ratings seriously here. Now I'll get to some sad news. It's just something I saw. It's not news. It's just something I saw. It's kind of sad. There was a Sergeant Slaughter did an interview recently, and he said that he was the only wrestler at the Iron Sheik's funeral back in 2023.
Man, that is pretty fucked. That is pretty fucked.
And he said he lived in Atlanta. So it's not like there was nobody, it was some place nobody wanted to go or nobody ever is. So that's kind of puzzling why they didn't. That's weird. I don't go to funerals just as a rule, but I'm sure there were plenty of people that don't have that personal rule.
Especially in the wrestling business.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit sad. But well, look, I love you, Iron Sheik, okay? I mean, I wasn't going to go, but still. Yeah, just interesting. It just caught my eye. Not really news. Here's a little something. It's on a more lighter note, though. I saw this headline too. It says the Great Khali wants to return to WWE for a world title run and match against The Rock. And they have this adorable picture of the Great Khali.
I'm sorry, that shit's funny. Kali and The Rock, world title main event run. That's funny. That's a good joke, pal. Whoop, whoop.
Well, they're trying to break into that India market, Brandon. Anyways,
Yeah, you could have done that when you originally booked Jinder Mahal to go over Triple H, and then a cab driver said, "Oh yeah, I remember you guys as DX. You guys are awesome. You're my favorite." Yeah, yeah, I talked to a cab driver. Yeah, I need to go over Jinder Mahal in India.
well, as we've discussed many times, that's a shoot. Triple H is more over than Jinder Mahal in India, but that's fine. Jinder's Canadian. Great Khali is Indian. There's a difference. Oh,
popping for Dan right there.
I think when he said this, I think it was more of the case of like, well, what am I supposed to say? But I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna take it seriously type thing. Like, of course, I'm keeping kayfabe alive. Yes, I'm gonna come back and win the world title and face The Rock. Yeah, I don't think he really believes that that's a possibility. I think he's just having fun with the interview, but
that doesn't mean we can't. Doesn't mean we can't have fun. We can't have fun with that.
Yeah, but I just want to make that clear. I don't believe he's that delusional. But this is the quotes from an interview with Monopoly Events, which I don't know what the hell that is. Let me click this link. It's got a link. Hold on. Oh, it's a link.
Does it have to do with the monocle and the top hat?
Maybe. Oh wait, the monocle is is Mr. Moneybags, that's one of the... Is that one of the Mandela effect things? Like he doesn't have a monocle? Or is that... Mr. Peanut has a monocle?
They both have monocles.
Are you sure?
Yep.
How sure?
Unless... If I'm wrong, I plead the Mandela effect.
No, I think it is a Mandela effect. I think that's one of the famous ones.
Sorry, Mom.
Right.
I short circuited there. My bad.
We're gonna look this up here.
Because I specifically in the 90s, I specifically remember seeing Mr. Peanut with a monocle and Uncle Pennybags with a monocle.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, the Mr. Peanut I remember, he had a top hat, a monocle, and a cane, and gloves.
It says the Mr. Moneybags monocle is a classic example of the Mandela effect, where a large group of people falsely remember him wearing a monocle. Despite popular belief, the Monopoly mascot has never historically worn a monocle, likely confused with Mr. Peanut or other dapper characters.
Nope, because I'll never forget this. You remember I know you've seen this movie, Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. You remember the scene where he shakes that one dude that one dude faints or he's like passed out, and Ace is holding him. The dude's wearing a monocle, and he does like the goes, "Do not pass go, not collect $200."
Yeah, but that's not proof of the. It's not proof of the fucking company's the Parker Brothers logo.
Dude, you will never you can never convince me that Mr. Pennybags never wore a monocle.
Well, I don't have to convince you of that, but that's just what everybody says. Sorry, Brandon, you've been Mandela'd. If I had like one of those stamp things or whatever, some sound effects or anything, I don't have. It's a very no frill show over here. We just meat and potatoes here. But
where's Ashton Kutcher, pal?
Yep, that's right. I mean, it's happened to us all. We've all gotten Mandela. It's no big deal. It's just, that was one of the ones that I probably would have fell for. Like, I probably would have misremembered him with the monocle, but there's other ones, like I think the Fruit of the Loom one with the cornucopia. Like I believe there was a cornucopia. I'm pretty sure I fell for the Berenstain Bears thing. There's a few of them, but ironically, the thing it's named after, which is people remembering Nelson Mandela dying in prison, that's one thing I never thought. Like I already knew, I know when Mandela died. I know when he was released from prison. I never thought he died in prison. So the thing that everything is named after is kind of funnily that, you know, um, that's the one thing I didn't believe. Holy shit, Buckshot Kid. What is up? Buckshot Kid. Glad to see you, pal. Welcome back to the Impact Attack.
He's been around a bit. He's been popping in here and there.
Oh, good. He used to a long time ago. Yeah, so Pennybags, no monocle. Mr. Peanut, monocle. And Brandon, you got to go straight to jail now. But here are the quotes. You could go to jail like Seth Franklin Rollins. So the quote for the great Khali is, "One day I will come for the world title. I want to work with Rock. I work with so many guys, but I want to work with Rock. He's my hero. One day, that's my dream. If I come back, I'd love to work Brock Lesnar. I love Brock Lesnar, so one day I will come. I'll give you a chop." Nice. Look out, Brock.
If it's for real, all Brock would have to do is just kick Khali in the knees. It's over.
Oh yeah, well he wouldn't have to do that because Khali can't get to the ring anymore. He's so his legs are so. Yeah, it sucks. It's too bad. Yeah, that's it. That's all I really got for the for the fun news. So let's do the ripping off a Band-Aid thing and just get this whole Impact episode over with. But we do have the return of Ketchup this week. I guess they wanted us to know what happened last week, so they gave us a Ketchup packet. There it is. All right, Exhibit A, and why this company needs to fucking die. The opening match, Frankie Kazarian versus Hometown Man, with AJ Francis on commentary, who ends up getting involved. And Frankie Kazarian loses to a small package, and then the lights go out, and Elijah comes out, and he hits AJ when he was trying to hit Frankie because Frankie moved out of the way. So, we all know that Frankie Kazarian of the Killer Kowalski School of Wrestling. We all know, yes. We all know he bet on himself. And I know that I'm going to tell myself, because it probably is, I mean, this is what they say, and why would I doubt them? But that TNA locker room feels like a family, and they all are so tight-knit and close. I could see Frankie being totally okay with this. But I just got to push back on that. And I'm trying to be as diplomatic and nice as possible. Things like this, you can make a case for Mr. Bet on Yourself. You could make a case that you can survive this and that nobody's going to care. But I think the reason that no one will ever remember this and no one will care is because no one will ever remember TNA or care about TNA from March 19th, 2026. It will be a forgotten day in history. And just like there's been many forgotten days and years and maybe decades at this point of TNA history. So no matter what the height of TNA's popularity was, they were never taken seriously by wrestling fans or the public in general. They've always been that other thing. And they can never be anything other than that other thing. If 1 week you have me, you're telling me this guy is the champion of your company and he's a main event player, and then a few weeks later
he's jobbing to a comedy gimmick.
Jobbing to a comedy jobber. Let's not even say the gimmick. Let's call it what it is. This is a guy that was doing jobs because he's in the office. So it's not important for him to be a singles competitor. You know, Cody Deaner, right. It's not important that he be a star on the show, but he could contribute to the show behind the scenes, and he can do things like Hometown Man to continue, you know, being active, but still you're not the focus.
He can bump and sell and get heels over.
Yes. Winning a match against Frankie Kazarian with a small package is not going to change the fortunes of Cody Deaner / Hometown Man. This will not make Cody Deaner. This will not catapult him into the stratosphere and make him a number one contender. This will not get him looks from other companies trying to hire Cody Deaner. No one will scout Cody Deaner because he won with a small package. But what it does do is damage the credibility of whatever credibility you're trying to build with your fresh start on this big network, the biggest network you've been on. I don't even feel like I have the verbal capacity to express how fundamentally fucked and stupid whoever booked this, whoever came up with this idea, and everybody agreeing to go along with it. Again, Frankie just probably going along with it like, well, me and Cody are cool, so it's just whatever. But anybody that's tuning in to see this, if you've never seen it, you're not going to watch it again. It's ridiculous. This is for somebody else. This is for AJ Francis, right? Like, this is an AJ Francis level at best. Like, if you're going, yeah,
because he knows how to slip on a banana peel. He knows how to be the heel where I get over cocky, I get overconfident, I underestimate my opponent, I fuck up, slip on a banana peel, and he gets one over on me on this particular night. AJ Francis is definitely the guy who could pull that off, or maybe even like maybe a Mr. Elegance.
Yeah, which we're about to talk about next. Funny enough. No, to answer the final boss's question, my issue with TNA that they're not trying to be number one? Of course not. There's no possible way that they're going to be number one anyways. But I'm just waiting for TNA to fundamentally do anything correctly. Whether it's book a wrestling match and a finish, to present the people they have in the correct way, to have a show that doesn't have people sound like they're doing tin cans on a string. They can't do shit right. It's embarrassing. They're embarrassing themselves. They can't even pull off a wrestling company, let alone a successful number one wrestling company.
Especially with the money that they say supposedly reportedly made with this new media rights deal with AMC, how they're not investing and fixing their production values. That's one of the first things that jumps out to me. It's like, how are you not using that money to invest in improving your production?
Well, what it seems like is that they don't know how to use it. Because apparently they could have all the best equipment in the world and they just don't know how it works.
Yep, and that's a good question, Final Boss. Yeah, who is their target audience?
Well, they think their target audience is anybody that would watch the WWE, probably.
Yeah, Man, I don't. That's a good question. That is a good question. I don't know. Like if I'm TNA, I'm going after the people who like wrestling but don't like AEW or WWE, and try to provide something different that WWE and AEW don't provide.
This is like a whole other podcast.
Yeah,
I don't have time
now
to
we're
get
trying.
into this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me just sum it up and then we'll just move on. Basically, this is the deal. In business, you have a number one, whatever that may be, whether it's Coke or whatever your brand is that's number one.
Give me a Q-tip, pal.
Yeah, everybody else, they follow the leader. That's it. You make your things unique. You have your little tweaks, your little perks. You have your little things that you do different, and you may never be number one, but you'll be good for the people that like number one and want more, or the people that are tired of number one and are looking for something else, but they kind of still just want number one, right? Like, if you're a wrestling fan, most wrestling fans, let's face it, they just know the WWE, right? They equate pro wrestling with WWE. So if you're watching TNA, it's less likely that you're looking for an alternative and more likely that you're looking for more, right? Mm-hmm. Because WWE doesn't have a show on Thursday nights. So if I want to watch wrestling, what's on Thursday nights? TNA. So I might, as a wrestling fan who's associated with WWE or recognizes WWE, would like more of WWE or at least something resembling or approaching WWE. They clearly don't have the same money WWE does, but I at least like the level of competency that WWE has.
And that's why I was raising my hand. That's what originally led me to TNA. Whereas I was actually at that point. I was first reached that point in the mid 2000s where it's like, okay, I gotta find something different because what I'm looking for, WWE ain't providing for me by one a wrestling product. And then I happen to come across a commercial for TNA where they advertise, oh, we got Billy Gunn, we got Road Dogg, we got a Jeff Hardy over here, like D'Lo Brown. Okay, stars and names I recognize. That kind of what initially drew me to them.
Right. So you got drawn by people that were released from WWE. TNA's asking you to be drawn by people that were released from fucking NXT. See the difference? Okay. So.
Well, and also too that Fred mentioned, that's also what led me to like I used to have DirecTV during that time, and there are some weird ass channels on there. I came across this thing called IWA Wrestling in Puerto Rico. Okay, I'll check that out. That was where I was first introduced to Ricky Banderas.
That's right. Ricky Banderas, also known as Mil Muertes.
And El Macias.
That's right.
For more TNA.
Or Judas Macias. Or
yeah, Judas
you know what?
Macias.
Look, the point is TNA sucks. Let's continue explaining why. Angel Warriors with Gia and no music underneath, they cut a promo saying that we are a team. I mean, that's essentially what they say. They say, we're a team, and you guys are just, trying to do something. I don't know. We'll see later because that match is later, and I'll explain more. We have a meeting of the GMs between Santino and Daria. They're arguing, but they're trying to put matches together or agree on stipulations. All right, now we have
Was that when they were backstage?
It's when he's sitting at the table making matches and.
The story with that was, I gotta say this was actually good attention to detail from creative where they had a Santino being like, well, we're having this thing later on between Macklin and Santana, so I can't count on them to not fight each other. So I'm already getting ahead of the thing and setting up a tournament. That's why I called you here. So we're going to put the practice together.
Yeah.
And then they ended up going with what was it? It was actually the first time they're kind of on the same page where They talked about the knockouts title situation where was it Laying Lee has a rematch. Well, Danny Luna's the number one contender, so Santino's like, okay, let's make it a triple threat, and that's when Dario Ray's like, that's actually the first thing you ever said I agree with.
There you go. So he's making a bracket because it's March and there's college basketball going on, but they don't mention that. They just talk about how obviously somebody's gonna get fired for fighting
or get stripped of the title.
Well, hey, blind squirrel, find a nut, something. Mr. Elegance makes his debut. His opponent, of course, Mike Jackson.
And Mike Jackson still looks better than Mr. Elegance.
In what way? So if you never,
I guess come from a worker standpoint because he's clearly a better worker.
I don't know. You know, this is the second thing you see. If you somehow managed to stay on this channel after you saw the first match, the next thing you see is like a 76-year-old man, you know, wrestling what, I don't know, you probably would think this could be like an alternate universe. Like if Haley Joel Osment's fitness journey went in a different direction than the one it did in real life, like maybe he would end up looking like Mr. Elegance. But yeah, this was just only people that look at wrestling as a rib could watch something like this and be okay with it.
Like if this is a wrestling show written and produced and directed by Christopher Guest, okay, we get it.
I'm thinking more like the people that religiously watch Botchamania and just laugh at the professional wrestling business and look at, you know, they make sure to go through all the social media clips of all the people falling and hurting themselves or anything that shows up on Lions, Tigers, Bears, and Head or any of those other things. Like that's what they enjoy about pro wrestling. Not that they ever have seen it done right or know how it's supposed to be done. Then you could watch a match with a 76-year-old man and be like, yeah, I'm okay with this. Yeah, this is TNA putting their best foot forward. Every night that you put on a show is somebody's first night that they could be watching.
And even then, like an actual like legit squash match with Mr. Elegance getting his character and his moves and everything over would have been way better than what we got here.
That's right. Because Mike Jackson can't take any bumps, really. Can't do anything. He can get his shit in. And then this kid has to look like he can't beat a 76-year-old man for like 5 minutes. And then make it look like he got a lucky win. You know. Why'd you hire him in the first place if this is what you think of him?
No disagreement there. No disagreement there.
This sounds like Road Dogg. I don't disagree with you. I think Mike Jackson's got something.
Yeah,
why don't we put the belt on Mike Jackson? We got to get the belt on Mike Jackson. I see something there.
Yeah, except though I can't. Unlike Road Dogg, I'm not trying to capitulate. I can't disagree with anything you just said there because everything you said was true.
Yeah, well, ODB came out. So again, thinking from the eyes of a new viewer, here comes ODB. And some other stuff happens, yada, yada, yada. Mr. Elegance takes a chilly shower. Yep.
Well, they are on AMC.
I mean, yeah, Buckshot's right. You know, that's basically what it is.
Yeah, they stopped being cool to anybody under 65 about 10, 15 years ago.
Yep. Yeah, if the only people that are still watching cable TV or like satellite with AMC on it, like on purpose, are people that remember when Mike Jackson was young. So,
Shimona.
and by
Great
the
promo.
way, and by the way, why does he have that hair still in the back? Mike Jackson? Why is it that little
That's
patch of like longer hair?
it's that classic old man skullet, man. It's that classic old man skullet. Or what's left of it.
Yeah, what's left of it because he trimmed it. It's not like it's a flowing. It's
I
like a normal
it,
haircut, but not even on the sides. Like the sides are shaved somewhat. They're tapered down, and then it's long right just at the base of the skull. It's long, and then it's completely bald on top. I don't understand this haircut.
I think that's got to be on purpose. I think he's specifically going for that like old like super old school exaggerated veteran skullet where there's only like a little bit left of it. I think he's doing that on purpose. I gotta believe he's doing that on purpose.
Well, yeah, but what's the purpose? That's the question I'm asking. Like, I know he's not accidentally doing it. Okay. Anyways, next we get a promo from the Fat System. And Brandon, no one can speak a full sentence without pausing. Not one of these guys.
Cause a bear is coming for the moose.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty good. You know what? We don't need Bear Bronson anymore. We could just get Brandon to do the voiceover promo.
But all I ask for is just give me a bunch of food and protein so I get to Bear Bronson's size so I can actually be intimidating.
Best we can do is 2 cups of ODB chili.
I'll take it.
Okay. All right. Next is Doomsday Danny Luna and Ariana Grace with Stacks versus the Angel Warriors. So, the Angel Warriors, the only. They said they're a team. And the story in this match was that the heels couldn't get along. And not only could they not get along, but they still were able to win.
Agreed. I'm not with you on this booking. This was the wrong team to do that. If you're gonna do the thing where the heels can't get along, but then you have the one heel still like be the one who overpowers and goes over, you don't do it with an established team like Angel Warriors. You do it with like Harley Hudson and Myla Grace. That's who you do that with. Who hasn't been on TV since later tonight when they appear in a backstage promo.
First time in a while. Yeah, exactly. But here's the question, though. You know, on top of what you already said, are the Angel Warriors even that established? Or are they
really,
just the only ones that act like a team?
I mean, yeah, they still do need a little bit of work being established, but they're still like a team you're trying to get over as a established like main player team in the when it comes to the Knockouts tag team titles. So why would you put them in this position? Why like you got Harley Hudson and Myla Grace? They're perfect for that. Like they hardly appear on TV. If you need a jobber team for that, there you go. Like if you need to get Luna like a Danny Luna over when they with the even though she's arguing and having issues with who's her partner again?
Freaking Ariana Grace.
Ariana
From
Grace.
NXT.
Yeah, that's how memorable this is. I forgot who her partner was. If you're gonna do that angle, you do that with a throwaway jobber team or like a local team. Not a team you're trying to get over and establish as a force in the Knockouts tag team division. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, the only problem with that is, even though that's what should happen is another underneath tag team wouldn't have anything to do with what they're trying to do in the singles part of this, which is why this match is happening, because it's Lei Yingli and Danny Luna having a thing. And so here's Ariana Grace, who has the belt on one side of it. But so if you just have Ariana Grace and Danny Luna have no reason to team up against a jobber tag team. So the whole booking of all of this is the problem. The fact that you put it all together like that, like they put that together, whoever, Hunter Johnston or whatever, you know.
So here's how you fix that. Number one contenders. Okay, so you each have a legitimate claim to the title. Okay, 1-on-1, whoever gets to get the next title shot, and then winner, and then whoever, and then a loser that match gets winner of that match, or something like that.
Yes, something like that. But this was nothing like that. Anyway, gimmick injury report. Leon Slater is still out. That pile driver really messed him up. He's going to be out until he's not. But he'll come out later, actually, to cut a promo. But for now, he's out. Indy Hartwell's still out. Cedric the Alexander is cleared. And Moose has had some problems with his hip, but he's cleared. Speaking of Leon Slater, here he comes. Comes out in front of the people. Says he, after that pile driver, he felt doubt. But he did get back up, so he's going to come for Eric Young and win a wrestling match against him, I guess. Defend that title.
Yeah, one of the things I had said during the watch along about the show is that it felt very they're trying to be safe. Very safe and basic. Especially like when it comes to promos like these. Of course, I gotta give Leon his props. He's come a long way. From where he was, like, say, 2 years ago to where he is now. When it comes, at least in the promos, he's vastly improved. He's way more comfortable and confident on the mic and more sure of himself.
Even when he's talking about doubt.
Well, yeah, but I think at least this particular promo, the doubt was more of where his character was at, whereas as opposed to he himself.
Now, here's something that I was mad at to begin with. But then afterwards, I was starting to wonder. So let's see if we can make some sense of this. I was upset that Moose's entrance was joined in progress. Like, how dare you rob me of half a Moose entrance? Who do you think you are? And other things. But Fat Myers gets his full shitty entrance with the system. Nobody cares, or, you know, no one could replicate. Like, if you told some kid to act out Brian Myers' entrance, no one would be able to do it. So Santino comes in and he says that you guys all know that you're banned, and I've been waiting to do this a long time. And he does the whole "you're out of here" ejection thing on the system. And while everybody's bitching about, you know, this whole situation, Moose spears Myers and 1, 2, 3. So good. I don't want to
cool
watch
with that. All right. Yep.
Yeah,
we're good. Okay,
I
cool.
don't want to watch. I don't want to watch Brian Myers ever. But the match was over before the system even left. They were still on their way up the ramp, leaving before the match was over. But then I saw something afterwards. Now I know. Now they talk about, it's a gimmick injury report. They're talking about Moose's hip, so that could be a gimmick. But also, Moose was limping in that match with Cedric. And he was limping here. Well, I know it's taped on the same thing. So now, I think Moose got hurt in that match with Cedric. Or maybe earlier. And maybe the reason that they cut his entrance was because they didn't want to see him limping down the ramp.
That, and with this being a tape show, that would make sense. Okay, we'll have the entrance happen during the commercial break. That way you don't got to worry about him limping. And plus, we got that quick finish, so we're good. Got that covered.
Yeah. So maybe they're protecting Moose here in their own way. Maybe. I hope so. But then that would also mean that he's hurt, and that's not good. Because he's got this whole thing, and then he's going to have a match with this fat guy, the next fat guy. And, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it's a thing where he's a little bit sore, a little bit banged up. Just take a few weeks off. We'll take it easy on you so you can recover.
I'm scared. If Moose is gone, there's no stars. I've got nothing left to... The one thing that was keeping me going, you know, it's like, wow, Moose said he's going to have a series of matches. Like, as opposed to him just being off of the show entirely for no discernible reason sometimes. So, like, knowing that he was going to be on these shows consecutively was like, okay, well, at least there's that. And then there's the opposite of that. We get our next Sin skit. This is Envy this time, in which you know, Raven gives Rosemary Tommy Dreamer's blood from 1995.
What did he say was added to it? Like blood clot and something else?
I forget. I wasn't trying too hard to remember though. Yeah, even in this short, almost nothing appearance, Raven's Parkinson's is so bad. Like, all he has to do is hold something for a couple of seconds, and it was like he was using a shake weight. I felt so bad for him.
Was that Raven or Michael J. Fox?
Yeah, apparently it's Raven. Cholesterol, yeah.
And I will say, points to both guys for accepting of being able to accept the reality of what they're doing and also make light of it. I'll never forget the Michael J. Fox show. Like, there were multiple segments on there where Fox was ribbing himself during for some of the jokes.
Yeah, well, anyway, anything you have to say about this Tarantino production of Robert Rodriguez film?
Allie's doing a great job. Like, her being like this ghost of what wants to come back to life, and being happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, I guess Raven can't see her, right?
Not yet, no. She's still got 4 more sins to collect before she can come back to life.
Okay. So Final Boss said, "What? I'm not a fan of Moose. I don't dislike him. I just don't like him. What am I missing? You're missing the run he had like a couple of years ago when he was the TNA champ.
When he beat Alex Shelley, pal.
Yeah. When you saw what a star looked like, or even before that. He's the only thing resembling what you would call a professional wrestler that TNA has had in quite a long time. And what you're seeing now is exactly why I would expect you to say, you know, like, oh, you didn't like, oh, so you just have no taste. I get it. You don't know what a star is. Okay, I get it. Well, that's good. So Myers and the system refocus their efforts with more monosyllabic promos. Then we get Mara on commentary for Elena Black versus Jada Stone. Tasha Steelz interferes and the ref has to distract himself so that she can interfere because they just don't know how to lay these spots out where, you know, you're going to have the jump up and stuff, but the referee has no reason not to be looking at them. So he has to go and look at the person that just took a bump And like, it's like, are you like spoon feeding them Jello? Like they're not even in the hospital yet. Why are you doting on this wrestler that fell like all wrestlers do? While this other stuff is going on that you could clearly hear and probably see out of your peripheral vision anyway. Like they just can't do it. But anyways, that happens. And then security comes out to keep Elena and Mara away from each other. You know, like a pull apart, like, you know. And then the order surrounds the ring and is gonna kill Jada Stone, I guess. And then here comes Trey Miguel to save Jada Stone. Wow. Just riveting. Can't wait to see what happens next.
I'm assuming this leads to Trey dropping the international title, Mustafa Ali.
Yeah. Yeah. Ziggler's in the Righteous Walk. The Diamond Collective meet. Oh, Diamond Collective meets Jody Threat with Myla Grace and Harley Hudson. All right. Next is the Zigglers versus the Righteous. Little Bro wins. You're basically now. Regardless of everything I've said, I was talking about some stuff earlier in the night why this company sucks. Okay. I'm not putting it on these guys. I just don't like any of these guys. I'm not putting. This isn't the problem that I'm talking about overall with TNA. This is just a match I don't want to see. Okay. So let's make that distinction here. That other stuff is objectively awful. This just not. This one's just not for me. Was it for you?
Nah, not really. I was spending more time hanging out with chat.
I see. So, well, okay. I mean, whatever. So the Righteous defending the honor of the Hardys against the evil, goofy brothers. I don't like. What is this supposed to do for? You know what? Let's make it about the business. What is this supposed to do for anybody? What does this do for the Hardys?
You got me.
They keep saying, trust us, trust us, trust us, trust us.
And every time they trust, they fail.
Right. So, I mean, yeah. Okay. I don't know what it definitely doesn't do anything for the Righteous. And I mean, if the Zigglers are already going to get a tag title shot, is this supposed to make me think they're a threat? Is that the psychology behind this?
Considering the fact we already saw the Zigglers take the belts off of the Hardys, so it makes all this mean nothing.
Finally, we have a cinematic face-to-face with Mike Santana and Burt Macklin with music underneath. And no, it's not the music in the whatever establishment they're supposedly in which Burt...
Dude, I'm sorry. Like that where they were at could have easily been the Star Wars Cantina. I'm sorry.
Well, also, did you like the part where Burt just says to the waiter, just like, 2 drinks, please. Okay, sir, here's your drinks.
That I thought that was tremendous. Like the way they try to play up into Macklin trying to goad Santana into taking a drink. That was at least a little bit different, a little bit creative.
I mean, we're not even there yet. We're just here at the part where the fucking guy ordered 2 drinks and didn't say what he wanted. It's like there's a scene in Rumble in the Bronx in the dub version where he's like, it's a background extras scene, and like this kid goes up to the ice cream truck and he's like, 2 ice creams, please. And then the guy he hands him over and says, here's your ice cream. Like, these things have flavors. There's like different kinds. Like, do you not understand like how the world works?
Yeah, two double vodka mixes or something like that.
So again, we have a guy that's basically, well, he's not saying anything wrong. He's got a point, but yet he's supposed to be the heel. And Mike Santana tries to throws it back in his face and say like, you know, how'd that work out for you? You know, referring to like, I guess his prior military career. He's like, how'd that work out for you? It's like, well, I became the TNA champion, which you are. So it worked out at least as well for me as it has for you. So like, what kind of a promo is this? These people don't even know how they're supposed to make sense of this bullshit.
Yeah, the only line that Santana really had over Macklin was, yeah, well, you were fighting someone else's war. I was fighting my own. That was the only thing he had on Macklin, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, and they got to the same place. You know, that's the point. When you try to take somebody down as a babyface, and then you realize that they're not any further down, and they're standing still eye to eye with you, then you're not a good babyface. You're kind of a shitty heel because you can't even cut the babyface down in any meaningful way. So really, this doesn't accomplish anything. It just makes both these guys look like assholes, which I don't think that's the intention. Again, if we're looking at the company and who they're trying to push and who they're trying to promote, one guy's the face of this company.
Well, hey, hang on. We know Santana's a babyface because he paid for the drinks and the tip, even though he didn't drink anything.
Ah, I see. I guess it really matters, like, what's the last thing, right? We'll always remember him paying for the drinks. We don't remember the shitty promo he cut before. Well, that's a main event if ever I've seen one. That cinematic promo vignette will be a main event anywhere in the world.
In a weird way, like Matt's coming across like a very low rent Drew McIntyre, where he's not wrong in what he's saying, but he doesn't carry the wit and charisma that McIntyre does.
No, Steve Macklin is a very, like, what he's doing, it feels very natural. You know, it doesn't feel wrestling.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like he's leaning more into who Steve Macklin, the human being, is, and adopting that into his character.
Right. So it would be interesting if I could just care in any way, shape, or form, but I don't. There's some people that just don't do anything wrong, and I just don't care. I'm sorry. And Bert is one of those guys for me. I don't have many pointers for him, but at the same time, I just can't bring myself to care. But I can at least be objective and say, I prefer the way he does. It's not that he has no charisma. It's just that I'm just not getting anything out of it. It's like, but what he is doing is, like I said, he's got a natural conversational way that he's doing these promos. Even his promo against Santana the previous week, where I said he's kind of sounding like a babyface, you know, in this situation. But meanwhile, then you got the System, who still have that choppy promo style. Can't say more than 3 words at a time.
So yeah, sound. Yeah, their sound bite. Macklin's more conversational, like long form.
Yeah. So he's doing everything right. It's just who cares. But that's kind of well, I would say that's the story of TNA. Except TNA is doing everything wrong, and who cares? You know, they don't know how to make the pieces they have function, and they also don't have that many good pieces. So like when you don't have all the right pieces, it's even harder to make the vision come true. But
Yeah, if you're trying to play chess with a damaged queen, you're gonna have some problems.
yeah, so they're fucked, and I think that the ratings are going to reflect that. And yeah, and there's not one thing on Sacrifice I want to see. So
It's Sacrifice, and I'm gonna spell disaster for you, Senior Joe.
yeah, I wish we had. If only we just have one Scott Steiner, just one time. Does he live around Atlanta still, or?
I think he does. I think he is still like in the Atlanta area.
Fuck, they should have brought him in for this taping.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I think he's on good terms with WWE right now.
Yeah, why not? All right. Well, anyway, let's stick a fork in this. There's no more we can there's no more we can say. We've all got things we need to do. Like for example, Brandon, you have to finish the Raw watch along, don't you? And amongst a bunch of other things this week.
Oh, pray for me, boys. Pray for me.
Can't be worse than this.
That is true. Cannot be worse than this. All righty. So yeah, coming up, probably about 5-10 minutes once this show goes off the air, we're going to continue with the HMG Raw Watch Along continuation. And then tomorrow night we have the NXT Late Start Watch Along, which airs after Hitting the Marks goes off the air. And then Wednesday we have the AEW Dynamite Watch Along and Bell Count. Thursday, JCW Lunacy and TNA Impact Watch Along. Friday, the SmackDown Watch Along and Bell Count. Saturday, we have HMG Insanity followed up with the AAA. Last night of Ray Day Reyes Watch Along. And then Sunday, we have HMG After Dark. And I think we'll pick back up with Trailer Park Boys with that one and finish season 11.
All right. Well, Buckshot Kid said, "What is your thoughts on Nick Nemeth versus Mickey Knuckles?" I don't have any thoughts. I don't know what that is. All I know is that Mickey Knuckles is a woman, right? That's all I know. They have a match or something? I don't know.
Yeah, they actually did on the latest episode of Lunacy.
Oh, I don't really watch, so I didn't see it. But yeah, good for them. So you can find me at Opinion Haver everywhere. You can follow me on all your favorite social media platforms at Opinion Haver. You could catch me every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern for the Next Level Wrestling Review of Big Ray Hernandez. You can catch me every Sunday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern for Direct Kids with Jimmy T and Professor Shabella Vera Cruz. You can check out Wrestling with Rick Rogers every... You would hate it? Oh, that's my thoughts then. Just go with that. Every Wrestling with Rick Rogers every Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. He had Ken Patera on last week, and Ken Patera's returning this week. So double Ken Patera's. Get your Ken Patera shot. Stevie Richards every Friday. Or no, every Thursday. New episodes every Thursday. Stevie Richards. And Timmy Baltimore, Limpin' Ain't Easy. New episodes whenever he uploads them. So that's going to do it for us. Brandon will be back on the Raw Watch Along. And for Brandon, I'm the Vet, and I don't have a sign-off line.
Whoop, whoop.